Elon Musk versus Donald Trump showdown. This is something that we all expected since the start of their coming together. And I said this before, I'll share with you later. But the thing is this, in my opinion right now, US is definitely heading towards a economic recession by October 2025. And I have my reason to explain this and share with you. Now, before that itself, risk management, please do that because it's going to be very important for you. Now, the thing is this, I have said that these two gentlemen, when they come together, was my reason to buy gold, and gold was at 2,400 back then, and then it went to 3,500, and that was a good run for all of us. But the thing is this, I also tell my students, and most of you guys here, that this friendship will have an issue very soon. And truth be told, I told that is where the bond will go down, and true, it's all happening right now. Now, we all know that Elon Musk has a very big thing against this big, beautiful bill. He feels that it is very disgusting, this abomination. All right, he feels that this whole thing itself is not going to last. And in fact itself, right, Donald Trump feels that it's crazy. So what is this word about? It actually means with disgust and hatred for that. So this is a very heavy word that Elon Musk is using on it. So why is that happening? Because there's a lot of things you must understand. When Donald Trump do this bill, he consult Elon Musk? Well, he seemed to have said it before, but seemingly Elon Musk is not happy with that. As a matter of fact, yourself, this big beautiful bill is basically a budget reconciliation bill, all right, to basically work on it. And when that actually happened, it will spend more money than cutting itself. And in fact, this bill was narrowly passed by 215 to 214 margin. So again, this is really a thing that not everyone buys on it. So now the thing is this, what really triggered Elon Musk? There's a few reasons, but the main thing is this, the GOP bill would scrape electric vehicle tax credit that Tesla has benefited from it for a long, long while. So because of that itself, of course, Elon Musk get angry. He say, call a senator, call a congressman, bankrupting America is not okay, kill the bill. Oh my God, look at it. So it was just it's just that just after he received the golden key from Donald Trump, and now he's saying this differently itself. And in fact, Donald Trump replied and say, Elon was wearing tin. I asked him to leave. I took away his EV magnet, right? So the thing is this particular thing, I don't think is actually true. So I'm going to just skip it. But the thing is that nonetheless itself, right? This is very crazy. He just went crazy on this. And now he's basically Donald Trump says that Elon Musk is going crazy and suggests that cutting government contracts with all his companies. Now, the thing is this, between the Trump and Musk, you say, I say, Trump say he's crazy, accuse Musk of staying silent, blame Elon Musk for the EV tax credit, threatened to end contract subsidies and express disappointment. And Musk came back and said took credit for the Trump's win, deny knowing about the bill, that's interesting, and threatened to shut down the Dragon, which is the Dragon SpaceX, obviously, and of course called Trump ungrateful and support impeachment. Oh my goodness. And lead Donald Trump to abstain. All right, this is all going crazy right now. But what actually happened now, we can see that Tesla has been affected pretty badly. And of course, this will continue, if you ask me. So the thing is this now, Elon Musk is going forward. He said that SpaceX will begin decommissioning its Dragon spacecraft immediately. And in fact itself, he feels that this Donald Trump should be impeached and J.D. Vance should replace him. Oh my goodness. So this is really ongoing right now. I think you heard enough of this, but I want to tell you more is this, the bond yield, the 10 years bond yield actually shot up towards the last 2 hours of the market. And this is not a very good sign because usually when you see a big movement like this itself, we're going to see a carry forward. And this time around, I'm pretty confident that we may actually see it going higher to the potential 4.66%, and that should trigger some selling in the market. And that's why I feel that you should be very careful for next week, because we can see right now that the Treasury yield sticks higher, even though the data was pretty good for last Friday non-farm payroll. And as a matter of fact itself, as you can see, while the yield is going up, the bond price came off. And now Jamie Dimon, who predicted that there could be a crash in the bond market back in May, is now really surfacing. And of course, now he still thinks that the recession is still ongoing, which I totally agree with him. Now, the thing is this right now, the Federal Reserve most likely will not cut interest rate until September. Yes, even June, July period itself, that showed no indication there will be any rate cut. And this is going to piss this Donald Trump. And of course, if that happening itself, right, I mean, US is paying as much as one more than this $3.3 billion of interest every single day. I know this is really incredible figures. And as a matter of fact itself, right, this is not going to help US anywhere. So now the thing is this, we know the fiscal deficit and the public debt growth has increased, even though the employment data itself is still at a sideways. Now, one thing to note, I already tell you guys, the unemployment data is actually tripping up, but it's not going up as fast as possible. And what we saw before in all the crises, I understand that, but if you look carefully itself, the debt itself is increasing. The debt is increasing, and every time when this is happening itself, you do see that it leads to the recession. And because of all this, you can see that Atlanta Fed GDP have shown that it's now going to have a much higher GDP, which is quite interesting because just a few months ago in April, they were saying negative, but suddenly now they changed their tune. Interesting, right? Because we don't see the stock market actually following through with this. As a matter of fact, right now, it seems that the blue chip consensus is not even there. But you compare this to the challenger job cuts, you can see right now there are more than 696,000 jobs being lost. And let's compare itself back in this 2019, we are almost halfway there. And remember this, that was during the time of crisis. So all I can say is that challenger job cuts is a report by Challenger. All right, Gray and Christmas shows that the announced a corporate layoff industry and region. So it's a very reliable report. And all this tells me that somehow, somewhere, it's just wrong. And if you put at the 100 days where, when the president come in, usually the first 100 days, the stock market will react positively. But we do see the statistics shows that once you hit about 200 days to 250 days, the stock market usually may fall. And Donald Trump, his 100-day basically was on the April 30th. So today is already the June the 8th. So it's 40 days. So we're 150 with a 150 days area. So you look at this right now. We are somewhere near here, so we're near a potential peak of the market. So you look at this as a form of guidance. Again, S&P, we need to be very careful right now. And Steve Eastman, we all know that this guy is one of the traders who do a lot of shorting back then in the Lehman Brothers time. And now he is saying that it's time not to chase stocks. In fact, he was bullish previously, and he was absolutely spot on. And Eastman says on this CNBC that this is not a good time. And he feels that right now, even the video itself could be at a little high level technology shares, just to be careful. And because of that itself, Michael Burry also seemed to be starting to short. He put in a big order of 49% of his portfolio to put into a put option against the NVIDIA. And we all know that the NVIDIA shares have went quite a fair bit, and S&P itself, they hold 6.5% of the S&P. So if the NVIDIA is to come down itself, right, I think there will be some selling in the market. So again, why he's doing that? I think it makes a lot of sense because the video, although did a very good what they call earning report, but that is based on the first quarter. And now, based on what we're seeing right now, with DeepSeek coming in the picture, I think the second quarter itself, the video will get some hit. And of looking at the chart now, although we do see the NASDAQ have been pretty strong the last few days, but based on what I'm seeing right now, we are actually near a potential topish signal. And from what I see right now, I believe that the NASDAQ could pull back in the next few months back down to the moving average. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm quite seeing for that because I do believe that the US dollar now coming off, the bond markets, bond yields going up all the way. All this tells me that this is not going to last. So the Dow Jones is even clearer. As you can see, the Dow Jones now, the triple top formation is pretty clear. And I believe that there will be a 3% pullback for the start from next week onwards for June period. So let's see whether I'm right or wrong. All right, guys. So this is a very important video. Share this with a friend yourself. I believe that there will be more mayhem coming in. This is Kel signing off. Take care and have a great time. Bye-bye.